If you build it, they will come. It's a saying that we've all heard and we all know that it's not true. Like if you just create something, it's not enough for people to just come rushing towards you and buy the thing that you want. However, if you do have a really good offer, a no-brainer offer that people can't refuse, it makes things so much easier, right? So first of all, what's an offer? Your offer is not the same as your product. And I know that's sort of like this misconception, like, hey, I've got this product and that's what I'm offering, right? An offer is everything around it that you say that they will get. The messaging around it, it's not just the actual product, it's how you actually present it, right? And the way I see it, your product could sort of like go in 3 different buckets after you've created it. It could be like after you present your offer to someone, it could be that they say, well, no, thank you, that's not for me, right? Or they could say, that's interesting. I need to think about it, but I might actually get it, right? And then you need to have more persuasion, and you need to do more marketing, follow-ups to try to get them over that line. Or you have an offer that's truly a no-brainer offer where people say like, I would be crazy to say no to this. Like I need to get this right now. Now, how do we do that? Whenever you present your offer to someone, in their mind, they'll basically consider your offer based on 2 things, right? How desirable is it? Like how much do I actually want it? And what's the risk if I get it, right? Let's talk about desire first. How can we make sure people desire your offer? Well, first of all, non-specific versus specific, right? So how specific is your offer, what it actually does? Like if it's really, really general, like it might not get their attention, but if it's really specific towards the problem they have, like specifically this is the problem you have and this is how we solve it, it's very specific towards them, the more it is, the more desire they'll have. Secondly, how relevant is it, right? So on the scale of like relevancy, if we go from like non-relevant to relevant, or like super relevant actually, same for specific, super, and then next, attainability, right? Like, is it attainable for them? Like not unattainable, or is it super attainable? Like perhaps they really want to have that Ferrari, but if it's like not attainable, like they won't have as much desire. Like how attainable is it for them to get access to that offer? And then also measurability. Is it like not measurable? So like whatever the solution you offer, like they will have no clue whether they've actually resolve their problem, whether they've improved on it, versus it being super measurable, right? Like they'll know exactly that you actually improved that, right? Like that your product or service has measurable impact on what the thing that they want to get. And then also, how timely is it? Like, is it untimely? It's like right now, even though it might be relevant to them and all that, but right now it's not where that customer is in their cycle, in their life cycle. It's just not timely at all, versus super timely. And then also, when would they actually get that benefit? Like, is it a future gain? Like, if they buy it now, like maybe in the future I get a gain from it? Or does it relieve immediate pain? And again, a lot of these things depend on them as well. It's not just your offer. So this impacts everything. Like, what is the messaging you have? The more you go to the right, the more desirable it would be for them. Right? And if you're like super specific, super relevant, super attainable, super measurable, super timely, and you're relieving immediate pain, like that is insanely desirable. Like they really want your product or service. But then as mentioned, we also have this thing called risk, right? So let me just move this over and let's start a new scale right here. Like, how risky is it for them to buy your product or service? Like, would it take more time to change, right? Like how much time, right? Versus it would take them more time not to change, right? Let's say your product or service is something that will take them a lot of time to actually get adjusted to it. Like, even though they might have a desire, but just to get started with your product or service just takes a lot of time. Like, it takes more time to actually change, to make the commitment. Versus if you have something that, when, like right now they do a certain thing in a certain way, it takes a lot of time. When they would use your solution, all of a sudden that would take them way less time. So it would take them more time if they wouldn't change, right? So like, hey, if it's all the way over here, like there's less risk. If it will take them a lot of time to actually adapt to your product or service, it would be like, that would not be ideal, obviously. Also, something that people very much consider in their mind is what risk does it have to their identity, right? So risk to identity, right? And then on the other side of that spectrum, identity improved. What do I mean with that? Your audience, everyone, they have a certain story in their mind of who they are. And whenever I buy a certain product, like subconsciously, I'm asking myself like, hey, would this improve my identity? Like, does this add to the person that I am, or would it actually have a risk of hurting that? That's another thing that people actually ask themselves, or like that will go through in their mind. And obviously people also consider money, right? Like, does it cost more money to buy versus more money not to buy? Same as with time, right? Like how much, if they invest in your product or service, it'll just cost them a lot more money, right? Versus if they already do something, they spend a lot of money somewhere, and if they invest in your product or solution, it will actually cost them less money, because maybe even your product or service costs money, obviously, but their savings will be much bigger, right? And also energy, like where do people get energy from, right? Like, would it cost them more energy to buy, or would it take them more energy not to buy, right? And then last but not least, reputation, right? Is there a high reputation risk versus would it improve their reputation? Crazy example. Someone is looking for a new purse. They want to have it and they're like super desired, but like it's a guy and it is a pink purse. It's a beautiful purse, but it's a pink one, right? So maybe that person will be like, but that'll be a risk for my reputation. What would my friends think if I show up with a pink one, right? Versus something that is like, something else which I'm actually proud of. Like people can see it now, and that would improve my reputation. So my point here in this video is that if you truly want to make a no-brainer offer, first of all, you want to make sure your product or your offer is as desirable as it can be. Ideally, on this scale, it is as specific as you can make it for them. It's as relevant as you can make it for them. It's as attainable, as measurable, and as timely as you can make it. Plus, it relieves an immediate pain, right? Ask yourself those questions. Is that the case? About your offer, but also about the people that you're getting, because maybe your offer is quite desirable, but maybe part of your audience, for them it's not timely, right? So you want to make sure that you get the right audience for those that it is actually timely, right? So is your offer desirable on those spectrums? And then even if it is desirable, like how's the risk? Like what do people consider, right? Like would it take them more time if they would buy it? Because if it would actually save them time if they would invest in yours, and if their identity would most likely improve, if it would actually save them money if they would buy from you, if it would actually give them more energy if they would buy from you, and if they believe their reputation would be improved if they would buy from you, like that removes all that risk, right? Because like it saves time, saves money, and obviously not all of these things are possible all the way over here. It's a spectrum, but those things, if you do that right, you will create a no-brainer offer that your audience or your prospects wouldn't be able to say no to. And again, like once you get that offer, once you have an offer that's truly irresistible, it will make everything easier. Like your marketing, your sales, like everything will become so much easier, and your business will grow a lot faster. So hopefully that helps, and I'll talk to y'all soon. All right, cut, we're done here. Let's wrap it up. Oh, well, sorry, you're still there. Well, in that case, thanks for watching, and make sure to subscribe to my channel where I share marketing tips, tricks, and strategies that will help you grow your business faster. So you can click on the subscribe button right now or check out the next video. Either way, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.